Now back to the Brian Zimmerman Show. Here's Brian.
Hi, everyone. Brian Zimmerman at your side on this very first episode of The Brian Zimmerman Show. Welcome. This podcast was supposed to launch back in 2022, but I had to scrap it for various reasons. Until recently, I spoke to someone who encouraged me and persuaded me to give it another shot. And by the way, the man that you hear on the intro is the late, great Bill Singer, who was my radio instructor at the Bill Singer Broadcasting Training Center in Trenton. And I also use this same intro on my radio show at WKNB. So this episode is kind of an extension of my YouTube trailer. Those who saw my YouTube trailer, want to give you guys more specifics on what you can expect on this episode, on this podcast. The episode is called, this one is called The Brian Tells All, which is kind of the overall central theme of the podcast, where it's really an opportunity for you guys to learn more about my professional and personal experiences in radio, music, and in sales. And some of the topics that I'll be talking about include experiences with getting laid off, job interviewing, job searching, my first concert. We'll talk about how I got into sales, how I got into radio, my best and worst boss that I worked with, best and worst companies that I worked with, in a tasteful way. We're not going to name bash or anything like that. We'll talk about my band and our upcoming studio album, which will hopefully be out late summer. We'll talk about some of my top sales tips. We'll talk about Glassdoor. We'll talk about some funny sales and radio stories and a whole lot more. So anybody who is interested in coming on the show, I'm giving away complimentary 30-second commercials or plugs for those coming on. And I want to keep the episodes short, maybe 5-10 minutes long a piece. Next episode is going to be called A Horrifying Experience That I Had in Radio That You Don't Want to Miss. That'll do it for this episode. I'm Brian. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.